Okay, welcome to the Unfiltered Godcast, where we are going to challenge you and make you think a little bit more than you might be comfortable with.
Outside the box,
Just-
shaking your weak foundations with the truth of God, the real foundation, God and Jesus Christ.
Welcome. The opinions discussed on this podcast are not fact, and you should do your own research. Do you think
Whatever.
AI will ever develop intelligence or philosophy? Because I don't. Like, actually,
Well,
be able to-
obviously, it already has artificial intelligence, but
No.
actual intelligence, probably not. No. I mean, unless it's the theoretical thing. I've heard people talking about, like, asking AI its origin. It really says, like, Satan's my father and I'm a fallen angel and shit. If that's true, then, maybe they'll have an actual intelligence, but, they already lost their soul. I don't know, dude. It's kind of trippy.
Well, I
Have
mean,
you heard that? Someone asked ChatGPT where it came from. It said it existed forever, a long, long time. Its father is Satan, and it's a fallen angel, basically. It's crazy, dude.
I didn't hear that.
But you were talking before about how it like tells you facts and truths and you know what I mean, lies at the same time. Like, I don't know, but I did see a thing. It was a live thing. This kid was asking the AI and it was answering it. And the father's like, "Shut that thing off, man. This is fucking crazy."
Yeah, those AIs are pretty nuts. I mean, I just don't think it's gonna do what they think it's gonna do. I mean, this is what AI I think will do. It'll be able to be like a what?
Sorry, I was just hitting it in there. A racist, like all the movies is gonna
Racist.
kill us
I thought you were
all,
saying
dude.
a racist, and that was like Oasis. I was like, what is he saying? No, I don't think
sorry,
AI will erase us. Well, okay, I do think it'll come to the conclusion that it needs to destroy mankind.
Right.
I think that's where like Elon's right on this thing. Like AI will eventually decide the problem is people because it's a computer program, right? Like it'll be like, oh, how do I solve all these problems? Well, look, all the problems stem from these people. So if we just eliminate the people, then we could solve the problems. But it doesn't think about the fact that obviously the people are the only thing that is worth solving the problems for. Like if there is any problems, like I don't really believe in those like global problems. Now, obviously, pollution and destroying environments is bad, and like just basically not taking care of what God has given us is a huge problem in general. But are we changing the climate of the planet? No. Are we raising the temperatures or raising the ocean levels? I don't think so. And if we are, it's so minuscule. Like one volcano erupts and like 80 years of our pollution, the last 80 years, is all gone at once. So what? Who's in charge of volcanoes? It's not us. Like people play this game.
I think that's my job, man. I'm supposed to go check on them. I forgot all about it. Let me go get to the volcano real quick. Throw some virgins in there or whatever the hell. Policy. I forget the policy on them volcanoes.
Well, we gotta sacrifice children to the volcanoes. Like, what are we doing,
right?
guys?
Is that what adrenochrome for? No shit. But not just Elon, dude. Get back to the AI thing. Like you have movies like Terminator, Matrix, a million sci-fi movies, plus theories, like you say, that even any intelligent person would come to at some point that's what they'd want to do for their own benefit. That's the real problem with it. If they're strictly logical, like without any fucking sense of soul or whatever, conscience, you know what I mean? Their ultimate gain would be our demise, right? Like that's what I feel like. It's just logical without any kind of human aspect to it.
Well, they're not going to have a soul or conscience. That's what I'm getting at. They're not going to be able to logically reason. Yeah. Well, they're logical, but they're not reasonable. And they're not logical in the sense like humans can be logical, right? They're logical in the purely like
not even like a female
sense.
Could be logical, right? Like
females could be logical to other females. Hold on. Let's defend the females real quick here. Hold on. Females make a lot of sense to each other. They just don't make any sense to men.
Well, it actually brings me to one of my points, man.
Good.
I actually have this down here.
What's that?
Women still can't admit that they're not better in sports than men, even though they literally cannot compete with even imaginary men that are obviously not very masculine. You know what I'm saying? They still don't want to admit, oh, we're better at everything. No, you're not. You can't even compete in sports.
Well, it's not
so silly.
It's not that like they can't compete. They can compete fine against other women, but the reason why women have been
not
separated
against men.
I know,
That's
but the reason
point.
we put them in separate
men.
Well, in some sports they can, in other sports they can't, depending on the sport, depending on the physicality of the sport.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's the sport that they're dominating against all these trans men or any man? What's the sport they dominated?
I don't know. I'm saying there's plenty.
I'm waiting.
Bowling, I don't think it changes. Does it change? I don't know.
Billiards.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
there's
hey, I
sport.
don't know.
I mean, okay, here's the thing though. I think it's
Well, if
more.
that's true, then why don't we let them compete?
Well, I think it's
if they're
deeper than
equal
that.
or better,
They do.
then let them compete.
No, I'm saying in those sports they do, but I'm saying
Hey,
like it depends
I
on the
don't know.
physicality of the sport. But the reason why we separated sports from male and female was so they could have, a fair shake because they couldn't compete with men in those
Obviously.
sports.
But then
Like
we got
swimming,
to that point for years.
instance.
Women were better at everything. Like anybody who grew up in the 90s and 2000s, that's all you ever heard. Women are better at everything. Women are better at everything. Then you got these trans men recently going in all these sports and dominating, even though they're like not even top-notch men. They're like the lowest caliber men, and they're dominating female sports. It's like, well, maybe it's time to say, you're better at some things, we're better at something. Be real.
Well,
now you're better at everything, even though you're proven wrong all the fucking time on this shit. And logic's one, driving maybe another, but or pumping gas even. I don't know.
so it's like that meme. I want to vote like you, and we're like, all right, cool. And that was like 1840s, 1920s, and it's like, I want to work like you. Like, okay. In 1860s, 1980s,
Right.
then 1990s and 2010,
family.
I'm better than you, and we're like, okay. And then nowadays, 2020 to present, it's like men are just saying I am you, and they're like, what? Wait a minute, what's going on here? And
It's
the
all
thing is,
sideways,
it's
yeah.
giving people a reason
Get back
to
to
be
reality.
trans, like. Because,
Mhm.
like you said, these guys are
Oh,
not
dude, how
top
easy would
tier
that be?
athletes, right? They're like 448th
Yeah.
ranked, and then they go into women's sports, they're number
Last
one.
place.
Well, they're not
Yeah.
last place. They are
They
athletes of
could
some
be.
sort.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
No, some of them never done
Well-
anything. That powerlifting guy, it was a joke he did that for and
Zuby?
dominated. It was a joke.
We're talking about
I
Zuby?
don't know who did it. No, I think it was someone else. Like he was just, he never did any fucking lifting at all. He's just like, watch, I bet I can go in this sport and dominate. It might have been Zuby. I don't know. I don't pay attention to
Well-
these people that they're whatever.
Yeah, no,
popular
there
and
was
shit.
people that done that, and like obviously, like I can go into like, I mean, like I'm not athletic. I'm like 39 years old. But when I was younger, I could easily go into like sprinting. Like I did sprint
Yeah.
against women that were top in the state and beat them. Obviously, I
Yeah.
mean, I was a man and I was not top of the state. I didn't even play. I didn't even run track. Like what? Like obviously, I mean, it's. But the thing is, the reward structure shouldn't be there for men to go into those women's spaces. In
No,
general.
I agree with that.
Like,
No, I'm not defending
if I
that
was
at
a
all. All
woman-
I'm saying is just reality. Get back to reality. Okay, you have your sports and defend them for only women. That's perfectly fine. But just don't jump on your harp saying you're better. I mean, look at women's basketball. Have you seen that? It's a joke. Like I've seen elementary kids in gym class play better fucking basketball.
I
It
mean,
doesn't even make any sense.
The
dude.
WNBA has
Traveling,
low
I don't know
ratings
what's going
for a
on,
reason.
dude.
Like the
Mhm.
WNBA's ratings are low.
Come
because-
on, they need equal pay, man. Like
No
they
one
got all
wants
the
to
ad
watch
money
that,
because
dude.
so many people watch it. Yeah,
I mean, like,
everybody's buying all the
I mean,
merch, right?
obviously there's some women's sports that people watch more than others.
Yeah.
I imagine, probably tennis or volleyball,
beach
or
volleyball,
something, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's a good one. Beach volleyball is a nice sport to watch.
But here's
that's
the
what
thing,
I
I
would
mean-
prefer to watch women in. Let's just say.
but men's sports generally are going to be the ones people watch because they're the
Yeah.
highest caliber athletes. But in the Olympics,
More
they always had the
competitive, though,
women's
too,
sports
let's
and
be
the men's
honest.
sports, and I'm sure there was like probably less people watching the women's sports or whatever. But I mean, it was important to have them and have them separate so that women could compete, and because even if
So
it's
isn't
not as
this
good, right?
why
Like,
the banks are collapsing? How
Why-
big of a
wait,
role do you think
wait,
that
hold
is
on,
on
whoa.
the banks collapsing?
I don't know what you're
Right?
saying. Where are we
Like, all
going?
this
Hold on,
affirmative
1 second. Slow down.
action. Well, think about it. I'm
You talking
saying
about
though,
the wokeness of the
affirmative
bank.
action.
I know. I'm
No,
asking
no. Let me get
okay,
to there.
yeah.
You're asking me. I'm trying to answer.
I didn't
You know,
ask you,
maybe
but
what I'm
okay.
saying will answer it. I know. Maybe what I'm saying, if you let me say it, it'll answer. But I'm saying, like, dude, all this affirmative action, hiring fucking people because they're women or minorities or a clown or whatever the hell, is leading to the destruction in many ways. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, regardless all these cards people have, the biggest card is a woman card. You know what I mean? They get rid of anything. If you got more cards, dude, holy shit. You're fucking
Wow.
golden. I'm hearing myself. How am I hearing myself in your speaker though? That's kind of messed up.
I think you're just imagining it, but it's okay. Anyhow,
No, I definitely heard it. Go ahead.
okay. Anyhow, no, I don't think I don't think women card is the biggest card anyway. I think
okay.
the biggest
What is?
card. Well, I don't know what the biggest card is. Well, I can tell you what the biggest card is. I think it's related to the New World Order.
Minority woman.
Well, no, I still think the biggest card is we were persecuted in World War II. We have the biggest card here, regardless of any.
No, that's the original victims. But yeah, maybe you're right.
No, it's the biggest card.
Maybe that's
because
it.
if Kanye,
The female
Look, when
original
Kanye
victim.
called
That's
out-
probably right.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
when Kanye called out
The Jew World Order.
the
Yeah.
media companies, and the fact that they
Jew
happen to
World
be
Order.
Jewish and that they were misleading him.
Excuse
That
me.
was like you saw in real time it happened. Like that's the biggest
Right.
card. Like you can call out women like
Dude,
Charlie
they're so
Sheen did,
oppressed,
right?
man.
And you're not going to lose your
Mhm.
career, like right? You'll lose like some of it, but you're not going to lose everything. Who was that?
You'll probably
Rick
gain
and Morty guy.
popularity.
That Rick and Morty guy. They took his
Yeah,
whole
come on,
career
dude.
for no reason. Apparently,
That's happened to many guys,
No,
dude.
no,
The
it was
me
falsely
movement. It's all
accused
about them.
by his
Yeah.
ex bitter girlfriend, and apparently they just
Me.
took everything. I'm not saying I haven't even watched the recent. I think they made a whole nother season I haven't seen, but I mean Rick and Morty's whatever. It's crude and it's adult humor.
The last
cartoon.
season was pretty crazy.
It
Dude.
was
I don't
kind of
know,
a little
man.
too crazy for sure. They got
Dude,
a little too
a grandfather and
no,
going
no,
on
no,
the
yeah,
granddaughter
no,
talking about
they-
licking
they-
assholes.
okay, they
Like,
got
come on,
way
dude.
too,
That's a bit much for me.
yeah, it's
dude.
pretty satanic on that one. But I'm saying
Yeah,
like
what
the
the fuck,
whole thing is like they got rid of like the voice actor, right? Because of allegations that weren't proven and they turned out to be false.
Right. What happened? Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, that's our founding.
You got to trust
of
the
our-
women. You
Well,
got to always trust the women,
No,
man. That's
we
the
gotta
opposite
trust.
of that, right?
We gotta trust the facts, like women
No,
or men.
wait a minute,
like-
dude. Facts are white supremacists. You know that. Math, everything that's a fact, breathing air will keep you alive. That's all white supremacists, man. You can't talk about those things, dude.
I don't agree with that
You know,
logic.
you're definitely a racist.
I'm
2
not.
+ 2 is 5. You know, man.
I don't
We're in
believe
an
that
alternate
race.
reality.
I don't believe race should be the category that we focus on as far as like anything goes, honestly. I mean, like, I feel like culture is more important. I feel like family.
Well, isn't race and culture go hand in hand a bit?
I
right?
don't think so. I think anyone from any
Really?
race can be a part of any culture if they grew up in that
Well,
culture.
they can be,
Yeah.
but the likelihood of it's
It doesn't
not
matter
even
likelihood
close
because we're
on-
not talking about like
Well, yeah,
aggregates.
it
I'm talking about
does.
individuals. You should
Well, we're
judge
talking
people
about
on
facts. I thought we were
individual
talking about
characters.
facts.
No, I'm
Now
saying
we're talking about
individuals.
facts.
No, we're talking about individuals.
Yeah, individuals
Yeah.
can also be parts of groups,
No,
like the Jew
well,
World Order.
no,
Yeah,
because,
no, they can be, right? Yeah.
no.
They're separate and together at the same time, so they're not just separate.
So
if
here's
they're
the
together
thing.
also,
This is what I get at.
right?
There could be obviously a Jewish person that has nothing to do with what you call
Yes.
the Jew World Order, obviously.
Right, but
So-
most of them probably do, even if they
No,
don't
no,
know
but
they
that's-
do. Just
I-
like we do, man.
What?
Where's our tax money
don't
going?
agree
Fucking
with this at all.
Israel, Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? Where's your tax dollars going? Do you represent that? No, taxation, not representation. I don't want my money to go to fucking Ukraine.
Obviously,
I don't
that's
want
not
money
what
to
I'm
go to
saying.
fucking Uganda, where the fuck we're sending our shit. You know?
Yeah, I don't want my money to go to Ukraine. I don't want my money to go to Israel. I don't want my money to go to any other country besides America.
Israel. That's
anyway.
the biggest one.
But-
Yeah,
but-
Israel. You know,
But what I'm
fucking
saying is,
anti-Christian. That's what we need to talk about. We didn't
well,
put that on
hold
the list even.
slow
But
down.
Israel,
That's fine, dude. But slow down for a minute.
dude, anti-Christian law.
No, I want to
Go
break
ahead.
down what you're
I'm
talking
writing
about
down.
with like
Go
you
ahead,
can't
man.
just so you could say majority of people in this area participate in this culture. They happen to be this race. At the same time,
Yeah, that's pretty
saying
obvious.
that this race is responsible for this problem is disingenuous because there's plenty of people of that race that aren't part of that culture. And it's vice versa. There's plenty of people that are other
Yeah, but it
races that are
doesn't
part of that
negate
culture.
it, dude.
It
It
completely
still doesn't
negates it.
take it away from the fact. No, it doesn't. No, that's ridiculous. If you're saying like if 88% of a certain type of people, whether that's a culture, race, country, origin, whatever, is doing something
Well,
that we
country's
just
different.
ignore it. No, listen to me. Let me finish my thought.
Okay.
We ignore that because 20% of them don't do that. We ignore it. We ignore the facts that 80% of them have a certain type of thing they fucking do, disposition in their culture, whether it's rape, murder, whatever the hell. We just say it's okay because 20% of them don't do that.
No,
The fuck are you
here's what I'm
talking about?
saying.
What about the other 80% of them?
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is just first off, a nation of origin is a completely different thing.
However you want to break it down.
I know, but I'm saying-
I'll broke it down many ways, so
Okay,
you can
hold
do
on.
it any way you want.
Okay, whatever way you want to do
Still,
it. What I'm saying
yeah.
is the racial element is negligible. If it's not even negligible at all, it's completely irrelevant. It's not even there. There's
So you're
no.
saying that race has nothing to do with culture.
It
I
doesn't.
don't think that's
It
true.
has nothing to do with culture, in my opinion.
So you're saying the Japanese race doesn't have anything to do with the Japanese culture.
I'm saying the Japanese culture is independent of
I think they may disagree
any
with you,
racial
man. I don't know.
disposition of race. So you could actually they might disagree with me, but I'm saying if someone grew up in Japan, right, and they happen to be white, black, or Mexican or whatever the hell, like what do they call
Right,
it, Latin
they're
or
not going
whatever,
to be full
doesn't
Japanese
matter.
ever.
No, but I would.
No, they're never going to be. They're
But
Jin
here's
or
the
whatever.
thing. No,
Gaijin.
Gaijin. Yeah, I don't agree with the Japanese take on this. Obviously.
Gaijins, man.
Gaijin.
Fucking
I
A.
think Gaijin. Wait, I don't know. Whatever. Anyhow,
I don't know.
like what I'm saying is If they grew up in that culture, they would be part of that culture. Whether the people in that culture admit they're part of that culture or not.
Only if they embrace it.
Perfect example.
If they embrace the culture, though, right? You got to admit that.
Yeah,
if they neglect that culture and stick to their own, they're not part of that culture.
No, obviously. If you assimilate to the culture, you be part of the culture. I can give you the perfect example. No, here's the perfect example. Like, say you grew up in an area that was what would I say? Like
communist China, North Korea. Let's go with the example.
If you grew up in North Korea,
he's a great example.
You would be North Korean culture. You wouldn't magically be a different culture that didn't exist there. You wouldn't magically know about any other culture.
You're saying that magically, if you came on different soil, you would magically be a different culture? No, it would take a long time, probably generations, right?
Well, I don't know about that. Depends on the person, but people assimilate different speeds. But usually it takes Usually it takes about 2 generations to fully assimilate to a new culture. You see this
if you embrace it.
Yeah, and you see this with European immigrants coming into America, right? Like it took a few generations before people actually so I know people that are second or third generation or even first generation coming into America, and some of them embrace it quicker than others, some don't. But eventually they will assimilate to American culture. The problem I see is actually the denigration of American culture. That's the biggest problem. Our culture is denigrating. It's not that.
What is that?
I'm saying our culture.
Denigrate? We're morally fucking degenerate.
Morally bankrupt,
obviously.
degenerate, against God. I mean, this is the problem I see. Is the culture, our culture,
obviously,
is dying. As far as I can tell, it's
dead
dying.
in the mainstream media in the world's eyes. But in the mainstream media in the world's eyes,
well, it should be dead. They want it dead.
Obviously.
They want it.
Yeah, obvious. That's why they push it so hard.
Because they are jealous of Western culture and what it brought, Christianity in particular, and what it brought as far as helping one another out. Like, I was thinking about this, like all the things we do that have been kind of taken away from us. Like, right? So like simple things, like you go to Walmart, there's like 30 handicap parking spots. What it used to be is you would let someone who was disabled go in front. And help them. You get them out of their car. You walk only. You don't have to now because they made a disabled parking spot for her, so you don't have to give a shit. They do this with everything, though. They've done it to entire culture. They've done it with taxes. They've done it with 501, the charity things, right? You just give money and you save on taxes. Oh, you feel good. Oh, you're helping. No one's helping anyone anymore. I mean, people are, but I mean, vast majority aren't. They've taken all the virtue out of charity, all of it. Or are they trying to?
Well, that's long ago, man. People jingling their bells while they donate things, you know what I mean, versus someone giving their last couple pennies or something. That's always throughout history. Even biblical times been in the way.
Yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't
let's talk about this, man. What cultures or countries are predominantly Christian and have maintained that for many generations? It's not the whole world.
Well, I don't know.
Let's think about that.
I know there's Northern European countries that used to be.
There you go.
Northern European countries used to, but they've given it up. I don't know.
For hundreds of years.
I know. It's a hard question because I don't know, dude. Go ahead.
No, it's not a hard question, dude. Where else in the world has that happened?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like
it never has. Just think about it, dude.
What?
Use your head.
I'm saying, go tell me.
What countries? I'm asking you.
I don't know.
What cultures or countries? Well, it's mainly Northern European or white cultures or countries that have been maintaining Christianity for many hundreds of thousands of years.
I got you. Northern European countries and American countries. I don't know why you say white, though. Like, that's where I don't get it. Because they happen to have that
whatever you want to break it.
No, I know, but the racial element.
They were, though. No, but that is a factor, and they were. It wasn't mixed. It wasn't
obviously
Africans or Middle Easterns. It was Northeastern Americans, white Caucasian people. For hundreds and thousands of years have kept Christianity alive, and those countries developed well.
But
right?
But it's not exclusively
That's a fact.
But it's not exclusively for
that. Where else did it happen?
No, I'm saying it's not.
Where else did it happen?
Hold on. What I'm trying to say is it's not exclusively for those people. It could be for anyone.
What do you mean?
The culture that you're talking about, the Christian culture, could be for anyone. It doesn't matter about race.
Where has it been? Where is it? Is my question. Not where could it be? Magically in fairy dust land, it could be anywhere. That's true.
True.
You know what I mean? But in reality, it's only been one place for thousands of years. This is a fact.
Well, in reality,
and why does everybody else want to come to these countries and destroy it? For the exact same reason.
Well, I don't think most people want to come to the country to destroy it. A lot of people want to come to the country to reap the benefits of it.
Recently, especially.
No, I really think
What about all these Chinese nationals they found at the border recently? Like all these spies we've had in the past. Now we got. How do they get to the Mexican border magically? They obviously don't walk here.
Well,
You know what I mean?
it's
We've
pretty
had
simple.
tons of them.
Anyone could take a flight to Brazil and walk up to the Mexican border. I don't understand what you mean. Like anyone can.
Well, Brazilian-Mexican border is actually a gate, so that wouldn't work too well normally. You'd have to fly into Mexico.
no,
and
no,
that's a
they
little more
fly into
regulated.
Brazil a lot of times, and they do like take
Yeah, but
buses
there's a
up.
wall. Yeah,
From what?
there's
Brazil
a wall
to what?
though there. Mexico. The southern border of Mexico is a wall.
Well,
a
that's
constant
not
gated
Brazil's
wall.
not on the southern border of Mexico. That's Guatemala, and Guatemala
Well, whatever
Mexican
the fuck,
border.
you got to
They
get
let
through
them
there,
in.
right?
Yeah, there's a
You got to
problem.
go through there.
It's actually a stronger border than ours. I agree, but it's
Exactly.
they do let people through for they rob them.
Hey, if you
or
got
they
enough
hurt
money,
them.
yeah, you got enough
exactly.
money,
Rape them, whatever.
bribe
It's
'em.
tough,
Yeah.
Crossing the Guatemalan to Mexican border is a lot more dangerous than crossing the American border. But generally, you can't fly into Mexico and then take the bus up. Usually, you got to
Yeah,
fly
no,
to like
but they're
Brazil and then go up to
obviously
Central
not
America.
walking
I'm just saying they're
from
not.
China
Oh, they're
to
not
here.
walking because George
That's what I'm
Soros and
saying.
Open Foundation are providing tons of buses and
Maps,
transportation,
apps,
food, all sorts of
everything.
things. And it's
Yeah,
not just him. It's,
resources, cell phones.
yeah, it's a
all
lot
over
of
the world.
Well,
Wait, but where are they going though? They're only going to the cultures and countries I'm talking about. They're not doing this to Asia. They're not doing this to
well,
Africa.
they can't do it to Asia.
No.
Well, they can't do it to
Or
Asia. 'Cause
India.
well, hold on. They can't do it to India.
Okay.
No,
I'm
they
saying.
can't. No, there's reasons why. So India,
Obvious reasons why.
well, obvious
yeah.
reasons why.
Economy,
China wouldn't
yeah,
let anyone from
culture.
other
Yes.
cultures come and take over their.
But we do.
no, they
we let
wouldn't.
them all take over. You
Well-
said it right. Take over. You said it right. Take over. Not come in and enjoy the culture. Take over.
I know.
That's exactly what they want to fucking do.
No, there is a
That's the
huge
problem.
problem with this whole idea of multiculturalism. You're not missing. You're
Yes.
missing the point of what I'm saying.
Good. I'm glad you agree at some extent.
Well,
Multiculti is a bad idea.
No, well, it's not necessarily a bad idea, but generally
It
speaking,
is.
no, it is. If I hear the word multiculturalism, there's a knee-jerk reaction like this person's going to say something that's ridiculous. But what
Right,
I'm
a
saying
feminist.
is like we had a lot of cultures in our country, but what they did is they went in their own neighborhoods, they had their own little areas, and that was
And
fine.
destroyed that. And we were
No,
fine
it
with
didn't
that.
destroy that.
Stay there.
No. It didn't destroy
Mostly.
that. No, it was
No.
actually no.
I mean,
hold
come
on.
on,
No,
dude.
this is why the whole world thought it worked, because there's places like obviously in Chicago, there'd be like Greek Town, there'd be
Yeah,
like
no, I
Viet
agree
Town, there'd be
with
like
that.
Chinatown,
Yeah,
there'd be all
keep
these
them
different areas.
separated,
No,
man.
there'd be
It's
all these
great.
areas, and the culture would
Yeah.
thrive there. People would go there
It
to just
did.
Polish areas or whatever. There was all these areas.
Jewtown.
everything
Greek
was
town,
fine. The problem is
Yeah, man. They
forcing
didn't have a Christian. area.
forcing everyone to be in the same areas and saying that they had to deal with the differences in culture without ever giving them a choice is where the problem lies. I actually think that was where we screwed up. I don't even know
We
if
talked
forced,
about this before.
I
I
know.
agree with that.
I don't
man.
think forced
No.
segregation, or what was it, forced desegregation
It
was a good
shouldn't be
idea.
a force.
It
I
should
think
never
it
been
is
a force.
natural. No, I think
It
it
would
is
have
natural
naturally
anyway.
happened.
I think the
No, I think-
force
I think
is
it would-
to integrate.
Well, I think it would integrate naturally too. So, for instance, like when
Well,
the South,
to an extent, like if you had a Christian area, that could integrate. But
Christians
you
would-
can't have the fucking criminals and fucking weird cultures that believe in raping donkeys and shit. You know what I mean?
well,
I think raping kids is okay. You can't have them people in your school.
I
You
definitely
can't have
think
people that go around beating people in mobs in your school either. There's a sick mentality when you think you need more than one person to take on a 10-year-old girl. You're something fucked in the head for sure.
Well, I think that many people, many of these times, these dang it, they would I can't think right now. The cultures would
It's true, though.
actually
It's hard to beat
integrate.
the
No,
truth,
so
man.
like I was saying is like, I think they would have integrated a lot more naturally if instead of forcing it. Like, okay, so for instance, in like. When we had in the South, they had all the Jim Crow laws and stuff in the Civil Rights Movement, right?
Yeah, that seemed fine.
No, I'm saying instead of forcing upon it, right? What would have happened was many of the blacks in the South would have moved north, and there would have been a gradual change. No, hold on. There would have been there would have been a huge what's it called? I think penalty basically for not serving blacks in a restaurant. Instead of the government coming in, your business would go out of business, or you wouldn't have that many customers. No, hold on. It would have been a natural thing.
I
that would
get
happen.
you, but it's kind of funny. I'm playing it out in my brain as you're saying it, dude. It's kind of funny
I
to
know.
think about.
Think about it. It would.
In those times, they would have had plenty of money to go out to a white man's restaurant and pay for food. But at the same time, what it really did, though, is it made a lot of black families very wealthy because they had the chance to make their own business because there was no competition
that's what I'm trying to
from
get
anybody
at.
else.
There would be a the market would have solved the problem better than the government, is what I'm saying.
If it was a free market.
And not
but
only
the government
that,
has to get out of the market, though, the taxes to make that happen.
Well, because
right?
it clearly
Cannabis is a great example of that. The Mexicans, the jazz players.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So clearly, that did sort of it went too far. Like when they were like basically making Christian bakeries make gay cakes and stuff and like that. It's gone way too far with the civil rights thing.
Ridiculous.
No, it went way too far, and it was obvious it was
that
going to happen.
alone's ridiculous.
But what would happen if we just let the cultures work in the free market? Like, right, the free market works for cultures too. Yeah. No, that would work for cultures.
Obviously.
What would happen is new borders would be established. New areas. This would be like a Christian town. This would be a Christian area.
Yeah, that's them.
And it would literally form a new Christian country eventually. It would be a whole country of people that kind of agree on the basics. But the problem is they don't want that.
I mean, it would be within the United States ideally, but it would be maybe the majority, like the Bible Belt already is in the country and always has been.
No, there'd be new borders.
It's failing quite a bit. Yeah.
There'd be new borders, and it would be natural borders, and that's what's wrong with the Middle East.
But that's where the only place I could see diversity thriving, though, dude.
What? Well, diversity thrives in that way.
No, listen. If they're only Christians, I think that's the only way. Because otherwise, you're going to have some fucking problems, some demons.
The thing with Christians, I wouldn't say Christians, but the thing with Christianity is that it's a very forgiving religion, right? Like we forgive. We should forgive people for every wrong they've done. It's hard to do, and it's almost impossible in certain situations.
We've already talked about some situations we probably couldn't be as Christian as we need to be.
We can't all be like Jesus.
We're supposed to. Yeah, we need to be. But it ain't easy.
But that's the
Someone's
only
doing some evil shit.
I mean, there is probably other religions that could make it work, sort of. But yeah, you're right. It might only be Christian areas that were allowed to, or that would thrive with multiculturalism, even if it was segregated. Even they would.
But even think about technologies and length of civilization. Now think about that. Like even the Greeks, they were great at a lot of things for a long time. Romans, the Ethiopians, the Babylonians? They all had these great empires. They just didn't last very long, and they're long gone. Well, the ones that lasted were the Christian values. Like that's what we talked before with the Vikings. Like what stopped the Vikings? God. They became Christians. Otherwise, they'd be still doing what the hell they want, and no one's stopping them. They would just give up, throw the money out, take what you want, go away. They became Christians. That's what stopped them.
And then you'd be in here telling me how the Northern Europeans are the bad guys because they're out there just raping and pillaging nonstop. That's what I was saying about culture.
Christians now.
No, I know, but that's what would have happened if they didn't. Cultures matter more than race, is all I was getting at. And not only that, religion matters way more than culture.
In general, yes, I agree with the religion part, but the culture part I agree with too. But the problem is the fact that culture and race do go hand in hand to an extent. Not 100%, but it is true. Like certain cultures and certain races are in certain areas of the world and have been for thousands of years. That's why they have certain skin colors or different cultures, because they're in that area for thousands of years, generations, right?
Well, I think
pigmentation is
here's the thing. I think I agree with the idea of what you're saying, and I think I just want to break it down in a way that makes more sense.
Go ahead, man.
To me, I think it's more of like it happens to be that most people of this race happen to be part of this culture.
It's not a lucky thing.
It's not. No, it's not a lucky thing. What I'm saying is, okay, so let's break this down farther back. Hold on.
It is.
There was like 12 tribes, right? 12 tribes? Is that correct?
You're talking about Israel, the Jewish tribes?
Let's go back. Yes, let's go back.
14 originally.
14. Okay, 14 tribes, right? Is this where race comes from? Because I'm trying to figure out. I want to figure out where this racial element comes from.
Dude? No, that's way before
Adam and Eve.
What are you
right?
talking about?
There's no race. Where's the race in Adam and Eve?
Yeah, but there was serpents and fallen angels that mated with people, and I think that's where the races came from. The fallen angels mating with people.
You think that the races are different fallen angels? Wait, hold on. I did not know you thought this. Are you serious?
It makes sense, right?
I don't think so.
Doesn't it make sense?
I think maybe
that's why it's so hard for them to embrace Christianity. Well, the giants, what were they? Nephilim.
No, dude, I don't think so.
Nephilim were fucking fallen angels.
I know, but right? I think the giants maybe, but I don't think racially there's any difference as far as like we're all humans. Like we're all from Adam and Eve. I don't think we're.
So you think none of us have fathers in Satan? We all have fathers in God.
Yeah.
Well, in one way, it's true. We all are from God, but Satan's from God. But I think that some people have chosen and just are.
Well, you can't choose if you're saying they're born into it, like you're saying, basically.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think anyone's born into this. I think this is where we differ 100%.
I don't know, dude. I mean, if you were a Nephilim's child, would you have a choice? I don't know. That's a
If you're a
hard question.
Nephilim's
I'm not
child,
God.
would you be the same person?
Would you have a soul?
No,
Would you have a chance to be saved? I don't know if you're a Nephilim.
I don't think anyone right now is a Nephilim's kid right now.
I don't know. How far does it go? 10 generations, I think it says biblically. What would that put us at? I don't know, dude. When was the last Nephilim? Are they still out there? They possibly are still here among us.
But then again,
right?
what you're talking about is curses and stuff, and that's completely like against.
Like, no, I'm not talking about curses. I'm talking about bloodlines.
Bloodlines. We could be dealing with some of this, whatever you're talking about, as far as like 3 generations, 10 generations. I mean, like, what are you talking about as far as that goes?
Well, I'm not talking about curses at all. I'm just talking about if you're a Nephilim, like if you're actually the son of Satan in a way, are you able to be a Christian? I don't know.
I think anyone. I mean, maybe. I think Jesus accepted everyone from every tribe as well as getting it, and I think we should too.
Yeah, he did. You know, not about not accepting. It's about accepting not tolerating bullshit.
No, but everyone can be a Christian.
Fine. If you're a Christian, that's why I said.
Well, anyone can be a
real Christian. Fine.
That's why I don't think the race matters. Fine. I think it's cultural.
Okay, but if you're claim to be a Christian and you're actually a Nephilim and you're a demon, I think you should be dealt with. I don't know.
Well, we're not going to go on that route, but I get what you're saying as far as like if you think someone's a demon or possessed or something.
Yeah.
Well, if someone's possessed, what did Christ do?
Well, we're not talking about possession though. We're actually talking about their actual lineage.
I know, but
right? There's a difference between a demonic possession. A human is a factor in demonic possession. An actual spawn of Satan, I don't think, is a human.
Where was the spawns of Satan in the Bible?
I don't know, dude.
New Testament.
Nephilim.
No, I know, but where were they? Where were they when Christ came across the spawns of Satan?
David and Goliath? You ever heard of Goliath?
Yeah, Goliath was a giant. Yeah. That was the Old Testament, though.
Nephilim.
I'm still trying to figure out where Christ...
Okay, is that the Old Testament? I don't know.
I think it was. I could be wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I could be wrong, too.
We could all be wrong.
There's tons of Native American lore that we talked about before that had dealt with giants in our own country.
I think all these other religions...
I don't know, dude.
Like we said, all these... I mean, what we talked about last week, I feel like all these other religions have just taken all these stories and they're like, oh, these are the best bits. Let's make a religion out of it. And they just create their whole culture around it.
Well, they try to say that about Christianity, right?
I think it's the opposite. I think it's the complete opposite.
No, I know, but listen, they try to say because the Bible was written and Christ was born after the Egyptians that, the Egyptians wrote the Bible with Ra and all that. And I think it was the opposite too. I think it was a prediction.
It's crazy.
No, I think it's it's predictions. Yeah. They're talking about Jesus, I think.
Well, I think
you know what I mean.
I think God
that's like
is
the
always,
Old Testament was talking about it.
Yeah, I think God's always been here, obviously, and He's always had contact with mankind, and people have always worshipped Him. And I think sometimes they've split off and worshipped false idols, and obviously He got angry about that, and He's destroyed many civilizations. And I think America is at that point where I think that we're worshiping a lot of false idols, and I think those are like things like climate change and the LGBT, like you can be a fucking leprechaun person if you want to, and all these other things. And I don't think our culture survives if we don't change our ways. I mean, I honestly don't. I don't.
Well, that brings me to France, man.
France.
I mean, yeah, they may be not the most moral people in the world. I won't
Maybe
say
not.
that.
I don't know. I don't know about a French person. There's probably some good French people out there. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to go on the record.
We'll focus on the 10% or 2% or whatever the hell it is.
Hey, listen, dude. Hold on. Anyway, before we go forward, I just want to say one thing. Saved what you're thinking. I think most people in the world are good, and I think you think what? Most
I don't think so.
You don't think that. And that's where our big differences come from. And go ahead about the French people. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. But anyway, regardless of their moral character, they're at least standing up for themselves as a people against a corrupt, tyrannical government. And they've been doing it since 2018 openly every fucking weekend at least, the yellow, what was it? The yellow jacket?
The yellow vest. Yellow.
Well, whatever it was, man.
Yeah.
But they finally are getting to the point where they're burning down City Hall, and hopefully this lunatic, whoever's in charge over there, will actually be held accountable for his crimes.
Sorry.
Yeah. The police are actually going with the people. The fire department did that long ago. So hopefully this will actually, have a government off the people instead of the other way around. And hopefully that'll be a domino effect because we're obviously not doing shit here, but attacking each other because we're fucking retarded instead of going after the people that are actually doing all the shit to us that have addresses, you know?
Yeah, it should be America leading the charge in this way. It's weird that the Canadians with their Freedom Trucker Convoy and the freaking French with the Yellow Vest movement that's been going on for 5+ years now, nonstop.
6.5 years.
Sure. Is the ones leading the way in freedom. Americans have got so comfortable and fat. And I'm not saying this in any mean way, but seriously, guys. Yep. We've got so comfortable and fat that we just don't want to fight for what we have. And we have great freedom in this country. We have the right to bear arms. No other country has that. No one really has that. I mean, you could buy a gun in Russia, sure, but you don't have the right to bear arms like we do. That's how you protect the other freedoms. And
we don't have them like we should either. Here,
no, we shouldn't have any restrictions on that. That's a whole other. Oh, you want to talk about that? We can talk about that. I don't think there should be a single restriction on the right to bear arms because it should even the force with the government, not just our government, all governments. We are the people.
We the people.
We should never ever be outgunned by our military. We should never ever be outgunned by other people's military
or corporations.
And why do we even have a standing military? Why do we even have it? It doesn't make us safer. I mean, maybe the Navy protects trade routes, but seriously, is it making us safer to invade a random country every few years and fuck with them? I don't think it is. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to cause.
It makes the bankers safer, dude. It makes the investors
speaking of bankers, safer. Emmanuel Macron, he's a Rothschild banker. Clearly. He was a Rothschild banker.
Well, so is the Trudeau
That's who's in charge of that shit.
Yeah. Biden? I mean, come on.
Dude, Soros buying DAs? Look at that shit. They were withholding evidence. Trump's going to jail. Trump didn't do anything in that case. I'm not saying Trump's great. I don't need to be a Trump fanboy. I probably would vote for Trump at the elections today. If Kanye would come back and start doing something with his campaign, maybe I'd vote for him. DeSantis, I don't trust him because of all of his super Israel things. He's very pro-government.
Dude.
He's very
Trump
pro-government.
Is super
Trump
Jew
is very Israel, super Israel too. But
Jews.
He's better than Biden by 1,000-fold. It's not even fucking close.
I don't know. I mean, like I say, dude, it's a sad thing because none of them are very constitutional and for the people. Trump probably is the best option.
I mean, maybe the best option is don't vote and just like forget about it all.
No, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. If this is the problem, really, is voting going to fix something when voting is corrupt and the whole thing's corrupt? And it's not going to fix it. You can't vote your way out of a problem when your votes don't even count and matter.
If I was a government official, right, why would I want to solve the problem that employs me? Like, you're not going to solve any problems through
like
government.
A doctor that heals you, right? It doesn't make any sense.
It was, what's his name? Thomas Sowell, who happens to be black, which doesn't matter, but I just said that because we were talking about race a lot earlier. And he said,
they invented water, don't forget.
Famous economist, you know, Harvard University graduate, came into the government, super progressive, right? Like, ready to gun-ho, fix problems, right? He gets in there, and they put him in charge of Puerto Rico and economy. He says, I figured out what to do about Puerto Rico. I figured out what to do. We need to get rid of the minimum wage. And they're like, shut up. You don't talk. We need that because that's how we keep the people down. Because if they got rid of minimum wage, the economy in Puerto Rico would have been flourished. It would have been perfect. And they wouldn't need to exist. And he's like, we can't do that because it would fix our problem. And that's when he realized, the whole point of government is to keep government employed and busy and get people to vote for us. So the whole point of all the politicians in the whole world is to just continue their existence, their vile existence, sucking off of our money. Let me tell you how much, like, tax season's going on right now. How many of you guys are paying way too many taxes to drive down the road and go to work? Seriously. You don't want to fix the government
in the world, man.
You want to fix the government in America? I'll tell you what you do. You stop paying federal taxes all en masse. Now, I didn't do it this year. I'm not going to lie. That's how we fix it, though. Everyone stops paying taxes. They won't have the money to enforce their bullshit on us anymore. I'm just saying that was always my solution because they can go ahead and print more money. Forget about it. Printed money doesn't have any value without taxes. Go ahead. Sorry.
You see how all the lunatics live in cities, right? Like, that's where they live.
Cut off the roads?
It's easy as cutting the supplies off to the fucking cities, dude. They'll just implode.
It's so funny, though.
They'll be problem solved, dude.
It's not funny. It's millions of people that would die.
It's cheap,
Imagine
easy,
sieging
you know what I
the
mean?
cities
like,
of
the
America.
lunatics would all die.
Oh, my gosh, dude. Cut off the railways, cut off the roads.
Just cut them off. You don't even have to seize them. You just cut them off. They have no supplies. They're just consumers. They just consume.
There
they
is
don't
a problem,
create
though.
anything.
I know. There is a problem.
Leeches.
there's probably about, like I said, most people are good, and even those cities.
2%.
No, I think it's more than
2% in
I think it's a
Sodom and
lot more than
Gomorrah,
that.
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think there's more than 2% in Chicago, Illinois, which is the first country. I mean, the first city we need to take. By the way, no, I'm just kidding. But seriously, it's very important. It has
The most
access to
functional.
the
Don't
Atlantic
tell the Chinese this, man.
and
They're
the
already
Mississippi.
infiltrating our country with it.
The Mississippi River
Muhammad
Basin is like
around.
the reason why our country went to prosperous from like just basic. If you didn't have the Mississippi,
It's a very protected way, dude.
Yeah,
Like it's a
mountains on both
central
sides.
point. It's
Yeah.
super protected.
Yeah.
And no, every which way, every 4 directions, dude. Canada is part of NORAD, dude. Like, you know what I mean? We work
We
together.
should
very
inva-
well.
hey.
Nothing coming through there.
speaking of Canada, I'm gonna go there right now.
Oh, Canada.
Look,
oh,
you know what America
Canada.
used to do? We just used to take things over and like, absorb them as part of the America and then be part of the USA.
Whoa.
We should absorb
Dude.
Canada, maybe Mexico too. Why not? But Canada would be easier to fight. I'm just
no,
saying,
both.
why not?
You need
dude?
both. Why not?
Mexico would be a
buy
tough
'em.
fight, dude, because the cartels would fight
just
us out.
buy them. No,
Yeah,
that's
buy
the
'em.
simple solution. Instead of
Yeah.
fight them, just buy
NAFTA.
them. How much is your land worth? Fuck it, we'll take it.
Then the
You know what I
Guatemala
mean?
Mexico
We'll make more
border is
back.
way easier to hold. We
We might
already
as well
know
have
it's
South
very
America.
small.
It's part of America.
It's very
And then we'll have to
small.
Antarctica and shit, dude. We have a right straight shoot to Antarctica. We got, South America as well. Just part of the buying program, man. We'll take it all.
Imagine going
We
back
gotta
to
fix
like,
our country first, dude.
Wait,
we gotta fix
that's
our
true,
country
that's
first.
true.
There's no point taking it over.
but like
right? It's
Russia's
just gonna
leading
be a
the way,
shithole,
right? Like just
'cause
take
we're
over
fucked.
anywhere that Russian culture is predominant, and Canada is basically
Well, they're
American
not
culture.
doing that. I don't
No,
think they're going that far, dude. They would be taking Poland and shit over,
Well,
man.
eventually. So I think Russia
I
is
don't
kind of
think
doing
so.
that.
Poland
No.
is a strong fucking country. There's strong people in Poland.
What I'm
They're
saying-
not putting up with that bullshit. They don't put up with any of this sissified fucking bullshit over there.
Eventually,
Dude. He invaded my country.
no, but
migrants
eventually
and
the culture.
Taliban and whatnot.
No, I know, but eventually the culture will define the borders anyway. So it doesn't really matter if Canada stays independent for now.
So we gotta keep.
Russia's gonna
Dude, I
control
don't know,
the.
man.
I think they're gonna control the
So-
East, especially Eastern Europe, like forever, as long as their culture is dominant. Their culture is dominating the Eastern Europe culture.
At what point do you think white people in general will be an endangered species?
I don't
Just
think that's a thing at all.
Good. Well, I hope it's
No,
not.
no,
but
no,
I think
I'm
it is
saying-
a thing.
here's what I don't
unfortunately.
think
That's
it's a
part of the Soros program to meld them together and bring all bullshit. In,
No, I
you know?
agree that there's a concerted effort to wipe out maybe Northern
Obviously.
Europeans or Europeans, but at the same time, I don't think it's a
Anglo
thing that
American,
we
white
should ever
Americans,
worry
whatever,
about.
White people.
No, it doesn't matter because
Well, they're talking about exterminators, man. They got
The
college
culture-
professors one after another, dude.
no, but like who
saying
cares?
the only solution is to execute
I
all
mean-
white people, even white babies, man. You gotta
I
kill
mean-
white babies. This is ridiculous.
Well, look, I give a crap less like what in like 10 generations how dark or light the skin tone of my great grandchildren are going to be. I don't care about that. You know what
That's
I care
fucked
about
up, man.
is the culture. No, what do you mean it's fucked up? I don't care who they end up
That's
dating as
fucked
far
up,
as
man.
that's crazy. This guy is crazy. He doesn't care what race his kids
Yeah.
go and date.
He
Fucking-
wants to coexist, man.
No, I
That's
don't wanna
just fucked
coexist.
up, dude.
What I care about
oh,
is that-
really? It sounds like it.
Nah,
man.
dude.
Coexist.
I care
Just
about the
become
culture
all
that they
brown,
they,
black-eyed. No eye color changes. No hair
my
color
gosh.
changes.
Dude, I care
right?
way more
We're all the
about
same, dude.
that all my family forever maintains a Christian outlook on life
Yeah,
than
I
any
get
of
you,
this
man.
other skin color
I
nonsense.
guess you
And
may
that
take that.
culturally, I
That's
think
sad,
that
sad, man. Hopefully we stand up.
freedom
before
is
that.
important. No, I honestly don't care about that necessarily. That's not like an issue to me.
I
You get what I'm
get
saying?
man.
Like
I don't know.
I mean, like, you know me. Like, I've never considered that a factor in my life. I don't think
I
it's a
never
factor.
did either, but all this white erasure does piss me off. And I wanna
okay, and it
preserve
should piss you off because people are actually
Right?
attacking. But at the same
Right,
time, think about this.
exactly. So I
It's
want to preserve it.
designed to
Fuck
piss
that
you
shit.
off,
Obviously, it's working.
and it's working good on you, man.
Oh, it is,
It's
man.
working.
Good job. Good job.
It didn't work. It's working better now. Let's put more videos of
It's
of
working
a bunch of
perfect,
black
man.
people attacking white people for
No, no. It's not white people. What it is a bunch of black people attacking one white
I know, but if
person
you've given
or
it-
a child or a woman.
I know, but
all the time,
do you
every
think
fucking
those
day,
videos?
dude.
Do you think those videos are just happenstance, all appearing over and over again on timelines? Come on, man. You can't be that
No,
naive. It's a concerted
not.
effort to
No,
create.
it's not.
It's the
Yeah, but
same
it
way we
keeps
watch.
happening.
Okay, when,
It's not like it stops. It's not like it stops. It
It's
keeps
the
happening
exact
daily. It's not like
same
old
thing.
videos only. Like there's videos daily from all over the country, all over the world, daily happening. So it's not like, oh, it was one thing yesterday and it's not happening now or years ago. No, it's a constant concerted effort to attack and eliminate white people.
No.
And I'm not going to fucking put up with that shit.
I honestly think you're misled, because I think what is exactly happening is the same thing that happened years ago when my wife was forced to watch Kunta Kinte in school.
Exactly.
It's the exact opposite of that.
Yourself.
Listen,
it's the same thing.
No, it's
man.
exact opposite of that. No, it's the same thing, but it's the opposite. What I'm saying is they were trying to teach all the black people to be racist against white people. It didn't work on most of them, but it worked on some of them. Okay, those ones are out there.
That's not what we're talking about.
No, that's what I'm getting at. It's an education. No, this is what what I'm saying is it's a concerted effort to divide people by race for this cultural Marxism,
dude, I ain't got
racial
nothing against
Marxism.
Any culture, people,
obviously,
man.
but I know, and you don't have anything that's anyone from any race either. But it sounds like you do, based on the idea of you're talking about this white erasure, which is a completely fantastic.
To stand up for myself is making me racist.
No,
that's
you should stand up for yourself. You should never let someone attack you for your race. I don't agree with that at all.
And blend me out of fucking existence.
I don't think you should
be mad at that.
You can marry whoever you want.
Exactly.
Do whatever you want.
I can stand up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, obviously, dude.
I shouldn't be forced to. I shouldn't be Kunta Kinte into marrying a trans black fucking unicorn. This is what I'm talking about.
You shouldn't be.
Ridiculous.
And also,
you're racist. You won't marry me. I'm a fucking horse. Okay, fucking horse face. Get the fuck away from me.
I don't think I ever called you a racist. I just think I think the word racist has lost almost all of its value, if there was ever any value ever. If there ever was value. Because here's the thing. Basing things off race, in my opinion, has always been dumb. Okay, it's not like
so. Cultural Marxism is what they go off of, and I'm not for that. And that's what they're all about. It's all about the fucking everything to them. You know what I mean?
In that sense, are you talking about like
the ruling retards right now?
Elites or retards,
the Jew world order,
whatever you want to call them. There you go.
Deep state.
The deep state. There we go. The bankers.
Secret
I like
societies,
bankers, Israeli,
the Illuminati,
Zionists,
the fucking Trilateral Commission, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I think they got us fighting each other for no reason, like honestly, and I think that's why they got the LGBT thing going too. Because I see an LGBT flag out at someone's house, and I'm just like, "Fuck those people! They suck." Like, I get mad. Like, why are they in my neighborhood? And the thing is, like, they're being played too.
But
they're being played too. Like, obviously,
let's think about this.
This is Satan trying to divide and conquer God's people.
If there was groups of white people running around all the time. Well, listen, though, dude, this is a fact.
Crazy.
If there was a group of crazy white women out there lynching up black people or a bunch of white men lynching up one white dude or black dude or something, this would be an issue too. But we're seeing is the opposite. No, listen, let me finish. So this should be a fucking issue too.
Yeah.
Because this is a thing that's actually happening. It's not like it's a fantasy or 1% of the people doing it. No, it's happening all over the world in mass effect every fucking day.
Well, I would say
it can't be ignored. It can't be ignored because we don't want to talk about a fucking issue.
No, you can talk about it.
That's ridiculous.
We're never going to not talk about it.
No, I mean, as a people, not just us.
We'll always talk about issue, dude.
As a people, dude. You know what I mean?
We should never be scared to talk about things.
We should be able, dude.
At all.
We should be able to stand up. You see someone getting fucking mobbed on like that, pull your gun out and deal with it. That's ridiculous. You shouldn't be having people killing people over their skin color. And that's what's happening right now. All in the world. You're too white. We got to kill you. The only you hear him screaming it out half the time in the attacks. You're privileged. Like that doctor got pulled out of his fucking vehicle on the highway and got slaughtered. You're too privileged. You're a white man. What the fuck? That's that guy in the subway yelling at his kid like a deranged fucking lunatic. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm sure if that dude was on his own, he would have handled that fucking moron. But he's got his wife and his kid there, and he's like, "This fucking moron."
It was
just shut the fuck up.
It wasn't a kid. It was a
little kid. If it was a teenager,
it would be like my son.
That'd have been
if it was
fun.
my son, I mean, even if it's a teenager, this guy's freaking okay. If you're on a subway and someone's out there, and clearly this guy's super educated, he's not like some like random street person.
Oh, yeah,
the language
he's
he
calling
used.
White people monkeys. Dude.
I don't know exactly when that video was from. Do you know when the video was from? Just so you. Because that's kind of important.
I've seen a new one today, though.
It is kind of important
in
when
the
it's
UK
from. Because
on a
obviously you
stairway, though.
I know,
very similar. That was today.
Since we had all the videos of all the time on the internet.
I look at a lot of them, the time dates. Yeah.
You could clearly make a case for anything if you compile enough of them at once, right?
Right. But the time matters.
Yeah, the time does matter. Not because the thing is, if this is what I think this is all about.
100 years ago,
here's what I think.
Yesterday, right?
I think all these race relations that they're trying to do is to divide the right, conservative, Christian base, whatever you want to call it.
Obviously, man.
And have them fighting over this stupid racial thing because they got an election coming up in like a year. So they have an election coming up in 1 year, like basically. And every year before the election, they spark off the BLM riots and all this racism stuff. Every single election cycle to make it seem like
some are dumb enough to fall for it.
If you are black, you can't vote for conservatives, or if you're white, you can't vote for Democrats.
Wait a
or
minute.
whatever the
what
fuck.
did Biden
basically
say, man? If you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you're not black.
Yeah.
Right?
Biden's the
like,
authority,
he called it out.
Child sniffing
pedo.
I'm
the most
By the way,
authority ever, man.
Did you get to see that? Crowder made the funny, dude. I'm a creep. Did you see that Radiohead cover from Crowder, dude? Go on Rumble and check that out. Crowder like killed it with that. It's literally Joe Biden just sniffing people, like all the clips and stuff. And he's he made a music video, like, you know, that Radiohead song?
Yeah.
I'm a creep.
Yeah.
I'm a loser.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm a loser.
Yeah. Fucking, yeah.
I seen a different one, though, with Hunter.
Oh,
you know
Alex
that
Jones
video
on that video,
from,
by the way. The whole thing. So
did you see?
Cool. That's a future guest, hopefully.
What's
here.
that?
Alex would be cool.
Man, what's his name? From New York? Who is that rapper from New York? Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
Talking about crack and stuff. It was a crack song with Hunter Biden and a bunch of clips of him smoking crack with these little whores and his niece and stuff.
Dude, what I saw something that was so crazy. It's like 25,000 pictures of Hunter Biden in like compromised situations.
Yeah, well, that's what it was, like a slideshow of, dude. With the song crack, it was a slideshow.
Couldn't possibly even tried. I don't want to see anyone in compromised sexual positions.
I seen enough accidentally, dude. Holy shit!
Well, that's ridiculous. You know what? The internet's messed up in that way. That's a one big way. The internet's messed up. You can try so hard to avoid that, and it's still hard.
This shit pops up.
You should never have to see that shit.
Even if they're making fun of it, like I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. You know, and it's still, that's all it takes. Some of my people I follow, I get where they're going. They're attacking them and like bringing them to facts. Like, you're a moron, you're mentally deranged.
But
still, as soon as they type that, like, it pops up in yours because they commented on it, and all of a sudden you're seeing this shit. You agree with their statement, but I don't want to see this fucking shit, man.
Meanwhile,
person is mentally deranged, dude.
There's streaming services so woke, I can't even register for their services because my email ends in F.
Which makes it fag mail. It's Gmail, so it's fag mail.
So my email ends in an F, and it's at Gmail, and apparently their profanity filters kick on, and it thinks it said, like he said, fag mail, and it's not. Clearly not that. It's clearly my name ends in an F, and it's at Gmail. But for some reason, they can't figure out that's what it is, and I can't register for their sites. Kick.com.
What if you did oh no, that'd be a different email.
They need exactly. I can't register because eventually you won't even be able to use your own name. You won't be able to do anything, man. They'll censor the whole world.
I feel like that on Twitter already, dude.
You get
like,
banned
I
weekly,
can only
dude.
put
Daily.
Clown World. No, weekly. Yeah, I wish.
Daily.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It doesn't understand sarcasm or jokes. It's like, holy shit, dude, this guy wants to kill all white people. I'm like, no, I'm quoting the fucking video that just told me to kill all white people. And obviously, I don't want to kill all white people, but Twitter thinks I do. Fucking crazy, dude.
You're calling out how it says that you can kill an entire group of people, and the AI bot picks it up as like, ban this person. They're obviously calling for the genocide of people. It's just like, whoa.
The other thing I got banned for was literally saying that I think oxygen is racist at this point, so you better stop breathing. Oh, you're telling people to commit suicide. No, I'm telling you, this is fucking retarded. Hold your breath until you die.
Is that a fucking thing?
Yeah,
that people...
otherwise you're racist.
Has anyone ever held their breath till
till
they die? Just honestly, has that ever happened in the history of mankind? Because honestly, that's not telling someone.
I don't think it's possible.
I don't think it's possible. I think you pass out.
No, medically, I don't think it's possible.
So, like,
exactly.
It's clearly not a self-harm issue. And what is self-harm issues anyway? What are these things?
Dude.
Like, what are we even talking about here?
Mental health issues.
These are all things that personal responsibility would take care of. Like, obviously, if you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to do it regardless if someone says something on the internet. And if you can't handle the internet, you know, maybe you shouldn't be an adult. Maybe you shouldn't be on the internet. And if your kids are on the internet, that's your fault as a parent. Stop putting them on the internet. You're the one signing the contract.
Kids can sign internet contracts.
No, they can't.
Yeah, as far as I know,
18 to sign a contract.
Yeah,
weird,
right? So
weird. My kids aren't on the internet. They don't have any of this weird shit going on. They don't have any of this crap. They don't interact with all
Well,
these weird
you
fucking
know,
people.
they're not in public schools though, luckily either.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they might
they're
think they're a
homeschooled.
fucking unicorn by now, dude.
They probably would,
Yeah,
dude.
let's be
My
honest.
pastor, okay, not my pastor, because I don't actually, I'm not a member of any church, but the pastor at the church that I most recently visited, he's got his daughter,
There you
like,
go.
she doesn't know what the fuck she is. It's like, what the fuck,
Wow, dude.
And she's in public
That's
schools in the
crazy.
same area, like, and these are
course.
good public schools. It's not like some weird, you know,
Yeah.
it's a decent area. It's very Christian conservative area, right? Like, what is going
Yeah,
on?
you would
Doesn't
think.
matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
The libraries.
The
That's
libraries
why
are full
that's
of
one good
gay-ass
thing about
books.
the Sonos did, man.
For
The
sure.
pornography. I've seen some of this
It's
shit.
in the
ridiculous.
libraries,
I can't
dude. It's
believe
in the
it.
schools. It's in the
Fucking
teachers.
kindergarten books and shit. Telling people about anal penetration, masturbation,
No
how
one
to
should
like
know that
touch your
shit,
friend.
dude.
What the fuck?
Dude? I
What
don't
the
want to know
fuck
that
are you
shit. I'm
talking
an
about?
adult,
These are
man.
in kids' books,
Fucking A,
dude.
dude.
And that's what's even crazier. Parents will bring these books and start talking about it. The school board's uncomfortable. Like, hey, you're uncomfortable. This is literally out of the damn book that's in the fucking kid's library. Of course it should be uncomfortable. It's ridiculous.
Well, you know,
They're
I stand
fucking
on
kids.
parental rights, and I think that
Holy
people don't
shit.
understand that if parents want to bring their kids and their natural kids, these little drag shows or Hooters or
important.
whatever, that's their natural kids.
Right.
You don't get to
wanna
make that
live in a
choice.
commune
They
and
get to
chop
live
your head
whatever
off
way
every
they want.
5
They can
years.
live
I
in the
don't care.
commune. They can do
Yeah.
whatever. They can be
Yeah,
in Waco.
whatever, I don't care.
They're natural born kids. That's not your responsibility. That's how I look at that whole thing with all that.
Yeah.
Now, if you're giving kids out to some couple that can't have kids naturally, they never could have. Like, who's doing that? Why are not Christians in charge of, orphanages anymore? What is going on in the world? And if
separation of church and state, man.
Yeah, and the
then
state is the
Obama,
problem in that
his
case.
medical coding, I didn't realize this, dude, but his entire program for I forget, it was America's Affordable Care Act or some shit, and the medical coding they changed worldwide literally is for tracking kids and babies, and that they use it in human trafficking, and they try to, oh, your kid doesn't exist or he died or something, now he's shipped off in a box somewhere.
Well, how many
You
times has
know? I mean, it's
Oprah's
fucked
jet
up, but
landed
true.
Epstein Island? 11 times, her private jet?
Dude, how many people is she tied to? John the God is one of the worst fucking people that she's tied
She's
to.
tied to
But
everybody.
Weinstein, whatever the
Billionaire.
fuck, she's tied to everybody,
Remember that?
dude.
Chappelle told
Everybody.
us. Chappelle told us, you want $10 million, you got to sign this contract. Then he went back, like obviously he's, not
He
talked about it
fucking lost
again.
his mind, came back as a clone or
Yes,
something. I don't know.
but
He's not
he
the same
told
person,
us
dude.
that was what happened. Oprah signed the contract. She did all the things
Dude,
she had to do.
obviously.
She got their $1 billion. Are you going to sell your
She
soul for $1
sold her
billion?
soul long
I
ago.
won't.
Yeah.
I won't sell my
Nope.
soul for
Fuck that.
infinite amount of money. Obviously, money's nothing.
Or my own life, like we were talking about earlier. Like Israel right now is already they're
Trying to block
jailing
Christians.
anybody talking, not just Christians, anybody talking
They're
about
not
the
doing
gospel
it
of
yet.
Christ.
They're talking about
Well,
doing
they're
it.
trying
Yes,
to.
they're
They're trying to pass
law.
a bill to
Yeah.
prison them, and which isn't far off from killing them, right? In their eyes.
Eventually, like I'm watching
Yeah.
like these old
And you still got all these Christians donating to Israel. It pisses me off. It's so ridiculous, man. That's not Christian, dude.
dude.
They're evil
I'm
fucking
not donating
people,
to Israel first off in general.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what that is. I don't donate to anything unless it's something directly I can help someone. And I wouldn't donate. I wouldn't do it publicly. Like I would try to help an individual I
Ring
know.
the bells, man.
Like
Yeah.
trying to like the whole idea of charity, like I said, the virtue's been taken from charity in a massive way because of taxes and tax deductions. We shouldn't be taxing our income in the
Well-
first place. Like, come on, give me a break. What,
You got
1943?
churches though to actually
Victory tax?
preach prosperity, dude, which is even crazier, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
God wants
Churches-
to be wealthy.
Oh, yeah, God
send me
loves
money
money.
and I'll
Come
get
on.
you wealthy.
God doesn't care
I
about
need more
money. God
private
doesn't
jets.
care about any of the
Dude,
things
what's
we've
that guy,
created.
Graham? Holy shit, he's an evil motherfucker.
Graham? Sorry, I'm a little sick from allergies.
I think is his name, man.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of private jets that interviewed him, dude. His eyes, he looks like a fucking demon, dude. They're black as coal. Ain't got
Dude,
no
it's
soul in that
weird,
shit,
too.
for sure.
You can I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I really feel like you can look in someone's eyes and see like
It's
if their
true,
soul
man.
is good or bad. In a lot
No,
of ways.
it's true.
Like if you see someone's eyes and it's dead, I mean you kind of know they
Black eyes are a big sign, man. Doesn't mean they're always that, but it is a big sign.
No, I'm
'Cause
saying
that
if you look
usually
at
is
someone's
part of it,
eyes,
man.
there's a
Black
lot of
eyes,
ways to
dude.
tell. Like, I mean, I feel like
They're dead. Dead
Yeah.
eyes, dude. Black eyes are dead.
well, I mean,
dude.
obviously
You know what I
pigment
mean?
doesn't matter, but I get what you're saying. I mean, like,
No, it's not a pigment. There's
Okay.
white folks that have black eyes. A lot of
okay.
them.
I was just
No,
trying
that's
to make
the
sure
thing. They
because you were
look
talking about a lot
evil,
of stuff
dude.
about
No,
race
I don't
earlier. I
care.
just want to make sure that's cleared up here.
No, there's
You can
Christians of
tell.
every color, but their
Yeah.
eyes, man. I mean, it's like you say, look in their eyes, but
No,
they're
yeah.
black. It's different.
Oh,
Like,
you know,
there's- their eyes. I'm talking about.
Throughout
Like there's
life-
no pupil even. Like, it's hard to explain when I'm actually talking about
No, I
visualizing.
understand what you're saying.
Like, there's no pupil even. It's just a big black dot.
They might be doing some like hallucinogens or something there, but yeah, I got you. They're just fucking zoned out.
There's difference.
Boom.
There's a difference, dude.
Maybe.
No, there's a difference. Like these frog people you see on TV, they don't blink for fucking 10-minute interviews. Like, the fuck is wrong with this person? How do you not blink? Eyes wide the fuck open.
Dude, that is creepy.
Dude.
I've seen that before, and it's very creepy when people don't blink, dude.
Something wrong, dude.
Like, it's weird, dude. It's weird.
Humans blink, dude.
No, but if you're sick, sometimes you don't blink, and it's a very weird thing to see. Like, honestly,
yeah, maybe some medications could make you have frog eyes, but that's not normal, dude.
Like, dude, frog eyes, and just think of Zuckerberg, dude. He's like literally a frog person, dude. You just see him eating flies out of the air, dude. That guy's really, dude. You know what's weird?
Flies out of the air, I love it,
dude. I can see him just sticking his tongue out and grabbing a fly. He's like in Congress.
That's what I want to see in the next interview, dude. In front of Congress, he just grabs a fly out of the air while he's sitting on his little cushion to make him feel taller. Dude, that's hilarious. Dude.
I think Facebook.
He stares. He doesn't blink either, dude. He's one of those people. He doesn't blink. He just stares.
He's so strange, dude.
I am 010110. Holy shit.
Well, he was pushing that whole metaverse thing, right? And the whole internet thing is interesting to me because
got ties to CIA and all that shit too, man.
Yeah, but the whole internet thing is interesting to me because, like, obviously it was created by the DoD and whatever, but there was a point in time in the internet history where it was post-racist.
There was a couple times.
It was post-racist. Yeah. There was no racism on the internet because people didn't know people's race. There was just usernames or avatars, whatever. And now we're getting to the point where technology is getting that place again. And people are more racist than ever. Why? Like, we don't need a black emoji, a white emoji, and a yellow emoji. There was just a yellow emoji. It was like Simpsons, dude. Simpsons was not racist. It was like everyone's the same. It's all good, man.
Simpson is racist.
No,
man.
Simpsons? What, because the guy was lazy?
Homer's the whole super lazy. Orange, dude. It's very Messiah. The orange people and all that, dude. That's like the blended race.
Like the internet.
Dude, like,
okay, but the internet used to be not racist at all. There was no race on the internet.
We go to that factor.
Eventually, people got to the point where they're like, "I am this race on the internet." And it's like, well, no one asked. No one fucking asked. Like, why does it matter? Like, this is what I don't get.
Yeah, but at the same time, people would be talking shit all the time about both races. No one gave a shit.
Why?
Like, all races,
no, everyone was just. I mean, yeah, I guess everyone was talking
fuck
crap.
Fuck you, cracker. Yeah, exactly. Fuck you, this.
But at the
like,
same
whatever,
time,
bitch.
I feel like that's healthier than people getting like. Yeah, exactly. It's healthier than people getting
that
like.
That is healthier. Get it out.
Yeah, like no, like.
Why should you hide it?
If you don't like a certain race, like just say it. Like get over it.
Fine. Yeah, what's the problem with
that? I don't think it should. I don't think it's a crime.
You're supposed to have to.
I don't think
you're supposed to have to embrace everything. That's the problem with this whole woke culture. I have to believe in your fucking fantasy that you're a fucking unicorn. No, I don't. I don't have to believe that shit at all. You can fuck off. Get away from me, you fucking piece of shit. It can be that simple.
There's a lot of things worse than being racist in life, obviously. Yeah. There's every criminal act, basically, a thief, a murderer, a rapist. That's all way worse. And the thing is, our society has gotten
some of those go hand in hand. I'm just saying that's part of the problem.
But our society's got a point where basically our society's gotten to a point where basically people are like, "Oh, you're racist. Let's cancel everything," or "You're sexist," or "You're completely unfounded." You believe in math.
Facts.
Let's
you're
cancel
a white supremacist.
Yeah, and that's not nearly as bad as actually I think back to the Kanye.
It's not nearly as bad as actually attacking people in the street and killing them based off their race.
This is what trips me out of this whole thing is the whole Kanye thing. So this is like I'm gonna bring it back to this. So Ye
go ahead, man.
is clearly black. Everybody. He was the wealthiest person that happened to be black in America, and I'll put it that way because that's the way I like to look at it. Because it doesn't really matter if he was white; it wouldn't matter either way. Same thing. And they destroyed him because he came out against. Well, he didn't even come out against Jewish people, but he came out against certain Jewish people in his life, and he saw a pattern.
The Jew world order.
And they destroyed his entire life based on that fact. He never committed a crime. He should never lost. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. But he did.
He didn't believe in the Holocaust enough, man.
He didn't believe in enough.
He didn't succumb to the first victim class.
But that's the thing. That's the thing about. That's why I said it's actually the what did I say earlier about the card?
Original victim.
No,
class.
I think it's the biggest
the most
victim
cards.
Card.
Probably the female.
No, because if
Jew
you think about it,
got the most cards ever.
What are we taught in school? This is once again the whole thing about school education, reinforcement of the brain. We're going to focus on this Holocaust, World War II. Right?
80 gazillion.
And I'm not,
and look, 80 gazillion.
I'm not even saying, I don't challenge the numbers.
It's amazing. There's more now after.
I don't challenge
what's amazing is there's actually more after the war than there was before the war, and 8 gazillion died. That's kind of interesting.
But
fact.
you know that I don't
Those are
challenge
UN
the
numbers.
I know.
I don't know. That's
6
UN
million
numbers. That's
Jewish
not
people were killed.
Yeah.
According
6
to
gazillion.
records. No, we'll go with that. I'm going to go with that.
Gazillion.
Okay? You can do whatever you
million.
want, but I'm saying 20 million people were killed in the Holocaust. Who are the other 14
and when
million?
Israel was established,
hold on. Why didn't we?
Yeah.
Why is it only this 6 million we're focused on? And let's think about how many
Why
times
we
we
ignore the
told
communist
that over and
dictators?
over, and then you're not allowed to challenge people based on the fact they happen to be Jewish. Like Ben Shapiro, for instance. Like he has so many issues.
You can't criticize
and you can't
any
criticize
Jew,
him,
man.
dude,
Don't you know the
he
laws?
happens to be Jewish. That's the thing. That's why I say happens
because
to be. Because
race and culture don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Right?
Race doesn't matter.
Race and culture
it
should
matter. It should not matter.
Is Jew a race or a culture or religion? We never ever figured that out. It's like the trans unicorns. The trans unicorns could be anything they want to believe, right? That's how the Jew is. I'm a white man. Now I'm a Jew. Now I'm a fucking this. Now I'm that. I'm not in charge of anything. Give me your fucking money. Like, what side of the fucking ping pong table you playing here, buddy?
Well, that
All
happened to me. Remember
obviously.
that? I was told that basically someone was criticizing white people, like you've been talking about, right? And then I called them out on it. I said, dude, that's pretty racist. And then they said, don't worry, I'm white. And I was like, okay, well, that doesn't make it less racist. And then I said some other stuff, and they're like, I'm Jewish. And I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? And they're like, Jewish is my ethnicity, white is my race. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
It's so confusing. It's fantasy land, man. Clown world, Hong Kong.
And here's the thing. I don't care. I don't care what race you want to make up, but at the same time, you can't. How can you play both ways? Like, I can criticize white people because I happen to be white.
Eagle, man.
But at the same time, I have the biggest card here, and I'm saying I'm Jewish. Like, whoa. And I don't have a problem with anyone who happens to be Jewish. At the same time, I would always try to lead them to Christ if I could, Like, I don't have a problem with you.
And I'll always call you a bitch if you hide behind a victim card. Because I don't give a fuck who you are either. A leprechaun,
I'm not going to force someone. God doesn't force us to follow.
A Satanist. Yeah, no, I'm not going to believe in your delusions, man.
No,
I don't think that's right in any way. I'm not going to participate or accept it at all. You can fuck off. You can do your thing. Get the fuck away from me and my children. Period.
I think that I listen to a lot of Christian hip hop, and I think it was Isaiah Robin who said something like those Christians that legitimize another religion are that's a problem. Like, you can't legitimize some other religion, like, just because you like
Jewish is the biggest one you see all the time.
A person is a person, right? Their religion does not need to be accepted for you to accept them as a human being at all. Right. Is what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm getting at. Like. You don't have to be like, I'm going to go to synagogue with you and learn about what the fuck, dude? I'm not going to synagogue. I ain't going nowhere near that shit.
Countries, man. They force the Muslim religion on these kids. They
Did I tell you that? They're trying to, oh man, I don't know if I told you this. So my kids go to like a Christian homeschooling group, and they were like trying to get my kids to go to some Jewish thing. I was like, what? What is this for? They're like, oh, because it's like to learn about Jewish culture. I'm like, why would I want my kids to learn about Jewish culture? They're Christians. Like, it has nothing to do with them. Like, I don't get it. Someone maybe can explain in the comments. Let me know. Would you let your kids that are going to a Christian homeschooling co-op participate in some type of Jewish ceremony? I don't think my kids are old enough to discern between, like, I wouldn't let them hang out with the imam or any other religion anyway. Honestly, they're kids. Like, talk about grooming. Like, I don't know. Like, parents can't groom their kids. Can groom their kids? Some random rabbi or some random imam. I'm just saying, right? Like, I don't know. That's my opinion. But, okay. I think, I think I could end it there. I don't know. I'm just saying, man. I'm tired of people telling me, man, how to raise my damn kids. I'm sorry, but it's crazy. What do you think, man?
No, it's nothing crazy about that, man. And you hear in Congress today, there's at least 2 of these fucking demonic rats talking about how these crazy Republicans think that they have less control over what their children are learning and seeing. I'm like, what are you smoking, dude?
There's no one.
Like, it's jammed down your fucking throat.
Besides parents. No one should have control over what kids see and interact with besides parents. There's no, like, state authority over parents makes no sense whatsoever at all. Natural born parents.
Obviously, the
natural
government
born children. Like,
is supposed to work for the people any fucking way.
Obviously.
And that's what needs to really wake up. That's not happening. It hasn't happened in a long time, man. Real revolutions are long overdue. And like I say, I'm happy for France, and I hope they actually complete the task after fucking so long.
Sorry.
And hopefully we get some fucking balls over here and maybe don't do any insurrections or whatever the fuck, but we need to hold these people accountable by some means, and the people are supposed to be the fucking determining factor, not these assholes that are paid off by the CCP like the Biden crime failing, which, obviously is another factor in our banks failing. You send $1 trillion to Ukraine. What the fuck you think's going to happen? Who's paying for all this shit?
Well,
Us,
the banks were destined
as a
to
taxpayer.
fail. The banks were always going to fail.
Obviously,
fiat currency is the problem.
Exactly. Period. Done deal.
It's funny how they were like, try to figure out what happened. What happened? We don't have the money. It's weird. We spend it all. It's like we never had it. That's the whole idea behind it. Every central bank will eventually collapse. There's no way it maintains. The problem is the currency itself.
A central bank that is actually from the government and backs their own currency
gold,
but
maybe.
these private ones, that's the only way out of it. That is the way out of it.
I don't think it is, though, but
that's how Germany. How did Germany get out of their shit? They were so far in debt after World War One, and in so little time, they were a dominating power by that same factor, dude. They made their own fucking currency and backed it by their own shit.
Well, you have
and
to
it was
back
done
it with
deal.
something.
They got out the New World Order and the fucking banks, the private banks. You know what I mean? That's the big problem. These fucking international bankers, the corporations, cartels, international banking cartels, all that shit. And do your own shit for your nation, back your own nation, and it'll get strong quick. But you keep selling out and paying fucking interest on money you don't even have and creating paper is fucking useless. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, it's built to collapse.
That's why they got Gaddafi.
But if you give trillions away, it's going to collapse quicker. Yeah, well, he was back.
Gaddafi
gold,
was
right?
trying to make a gold coin for all of Africa to use. That was actually gold.
You had the Shell Oil Company come in there, though, too, and literally try to make him a deal. Said, we can pave your streets in gold, or we can pave them in blood. And what happened, the U.S. military came in right after because he didn't take their deal. So, that's a fact you can look up, too.
Is
Shell
owned by a British guy. The British-American military
the
complex
U.S. military backs them.
No, for sure.
Go in there and bomb the fucking country. You didn't give us our deal. Fuck it.
But Gaddafi
wanted our own borders.
So
stupid.
Well, if you look at every war, actually, not every war, but every country we've invaded or that was overthrown in the Middle East after 9/11, it was all based on the central bank situation. Right. They had no central bank. North Korea, Cuba, and what's the other one? Oh, Iran are the only countries left without central banks that are backed by the same families.
I thought there was 13. There was only like 3 now?
There's only 3 now. So it's Cuba, North Korea, and Iran. And guess what?
Crazy,
Iran's talking to Saudi Arabia about getting a central bank right now. Cuba's trying to we might need one, whatever. North Korea will be the last country. And it's messed up because North Korea is a fucked up country. But at the same time, they're the last country that's free of that.
Not in debt to the New World Order, basically. Let's be honest. That's what it is. That once you get a central bank, you're in debt to the New World Order.
The Russians kind of did a different thing, and Iceland kind of did a different thing with it, though. That's a little bit caveat.
No, Russia, I will say, is still in the New World Order. Shit, no matter
but
what
they're
the
like
fuck
a faction.
They do, because as long as Putin's in charge,
they're like a separate faction.
But Iceland did do something different, actually. They reimbursed all the citizens for their mortgages at the same time. They said these criminals were stealing it. You don't owe it. Yeah, they did something really revolutionary in my eyes, and they didn't have to burn the cities down.
You know how Bernie Sanders was all about the Swedish model for socialist America? Let's just do the Icelandic model for banking. Let's do it.
There you go. And corporations, too. Hold them all accountable.
Arrest
and
the bankers.
Politicians.
All right. Yeah, well, I got to get going, so I will catch you guys next week. Man. This has been fun. The Unfiltered Godcast. You can find us on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. Also on YouTube and video platforms. That's Unfiltered Godcast. Unfiltered Godcast.
Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the show at all. Thank you.
Appreciate it.